You know, today is a deceiving day. It is deceiving because it feels very fresh, ugh, very cool, and that's not gonna last. It's only gonna get hotter as the electric gate opens. And yeah, that's who I thought was still here. God damn it. Well, looks like I'm not gonna have the house to myself. uh, I am not a fan of my roommate. Uh, God damn it. Anyways, I just wanted to record because I deserve to focus on me as opposed to being focused on literally everybody else. It's not right. It's not fair. I give myself props. Okay. I also deserve to vent. Both can be true. So today, what's today? July 9th? So much going on. So it's July 9th. And I just sat. Good, I sat through this thing. Also, very exhausting to have done it. Good and exhausting at the same time. The dichotomy is crazy. The juxtaposition of something simultaneously being great for you and also quite exhausting and frustrating. Because navigating the college admissions process is quite frustrating. So I had scheduled, there was a webinar today, and I attended. And I was like, this is the part where I give myself props again. I started off my day pretty early. Where did these go? I swear to God, these were not here. And all of a sudden they just appeared out of nowhere, whatever. They're super spicy. And I'm gonna add them to my little fish salad that I'm gonna make. Why? Because I'm crazy. He's crazy. Man, I started my day at like fucking 6 or whatever. And then I get up and I'm like, alright. Thinking about my money situation and how DoorDash is screwing me and how terrible of an option it is. I just realized I'm cutting the chili. It's gonna be on the plate. I'm gonna cut other stuff on it. It's gonna, what's the word? Influx. It's gonna like mix around. So I'm gonna have a very hot meal. I'll just wipe it down with some water. It's not a big deal. Anyways, I woke up early and was thinking about my money and how I'm gonna make it and feeling very frustrated. It's times of frustration that inspire the most growth. Remember I said that. And then I'll remember I stole it from somebody smarter than me. Zora. I stole it from Zora. Hey Zora. Hi. How you doing? So yeah, I was like, man, I don't really have much spending power at the moment. Enough to get a coffee though. So I was like, you know what? I'm thinking about like holding off the coffee. I'll probably not get a coffee today. And then at the last minute, I decided, you know what? I'm just gonna go get a coffee. So as I'm pulling up at the Burger King, right? I get into my car, I drive, I go down the street. Kind of like taking in the day, like summer days. Summer days. Summer loving had me a blast. Summer loving happened so fast. Shoo ba doo ba doo ba doo 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 doo. Oh well, oh well, oh well. Okay. Yeah, man. Summer mornings are always like so very fresh, uh, and it's like deceiving because you know it's gonna get hot. Like you just know it's gonna be hot as shit. It's a nice reprieve, a reprieve, a reprieve. I don't know. The word is. I'm anticipating frustration. I'm anticipating desperation, and I have the mental capacity and the techniques to deal with it. I'm very aware of my situation, my current living situation, and I'm working to improve it. And it is possible. Just really frustrating, which is back to what I was saying, what I'm trying to say this entire time. So I go get my coffee, right? And beautiful day, fucking loved it. Birds are chirping, people are hustling and bustling. Um, and then as I'm pulling into the driveway, I'm like, you know what? I had already eaten some trail mix, a lot of protein, and then like some banana, so there was some potassium in there. Dried mango, so there was also some of that. Good mix, and I had myself more than a couple of servings. All right, get mad at me, I don't care. Um, so so then begins right. So then begins the wrestling that I do with myself. I wish I was here alone. I wish I was here alone. I wish I was here alone. Um, so then I'm like, I'm at the drive-through, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna get the coffee. Am I also gonna get some hash browns? Cause I felt enticed to get some hash browns, and I thought about it for a second. I'm like, is this a good financial decision to do? Like that joke is real. About having to make life decisions at the financial Burger King or whatever. So I'm there and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna get some hash browns. Cause I mean I did technically eat some peanuts and some trail mix, so I'm not technically the most hungry. So I don't have to have the hash browns. Like I can still survive and be okay just with the trail mix, you know? I ended up getting the hash browns. Um, it cost an extra like $2.50, not a big deal. In total it was like $5, right? So that's within my budget. I can afford five. I'm not liking how this afternoon is shaping out to be. I'm not. I'm very tired. I've been doing a lot, and this place is not conducive to emotional support. There's not a whole lot of emotional support in this place. Um, whew. Breathe, 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 breathe. All right. I'm breathing. I have capable techniques. I might have to end the video soon because all of a sudden there's become way too much going on. I'm smiling. I'm smiling. I'm hiding a lot of rage underneath here because this is not an ideal situation for me to be in, and like I want to be grateful, you know, I want to be appreciative at the same time. There's a lot of toxicity here, um, a lot of ego, maybe. I don't know. I'm not. I don't. Maybe my time is best spent not analyzing all this too much. Ultimately, I am in control of my own destiny, and what I was doing was regaling a tale. So, frustrating moments happen. We let those moments in. We experience it, and then we move on. We keep it going. And it's periodic. Yeah, there's gonna be more music. Oh, oh man, this sucks, dude. I was really my god, this sucks. It's okay. I'm gonna push through, man. You know, I know the frustration is crazy. It's just the shitty living situation that I'm in right now. It's not what I want, and that's what we all have to deal with in life, right? We have to deal with our pursuit of chasing what we want to chase. It's frustrating as hell, dude. It's frustrating as all hell. Anyway, so I get the hash browns, right? Because I'm eating my feelings. Um, I get the coffee. I interact with Gardla, who's dealing with her own shit. I mean, you can see it on her face. And then I make my way over to the gym. And I'm like, okay, I have this thing at 12. So I can't really. That's gonna be really loud. Okay. Woo! Okay. No! Wow. Just wow. Just wow. Come on, Armadillo. What happened, buddy? You were supposed to guard them. He's blaming you guys. Nothing broke. Thank God. My art is still good. Whew. Woo, that could have been so much worse. We're here, baby. We're here. Ah. Oh my God. So, as I was saying, I go to the gym. By the way, I was just making myself a wee bit of a little salad here. Right now, my inner monologue is of a British variety. Do you know what? Do you know what? Do you know what? So I go to the gym. I have myself a really good workout, right? I look around. I'm like, is anyone gonna jack me? No, we good. Because it's early in the morning. You never know. It was empty. I parked in front of a tree that provided me some good shade. And as I'm walking, I'm seeing people. Like 3 people were out and about. And I make my way into the gym. And I'm just confident. And the thing about being confident as a male, other males don't like it when you're confident. I know, it's weird. When you're confident, they'll just give you bad vibes. So that's what I deal with when I go to the gym. These bad vibes. I duck them. Hoo, 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 hoo. I throw my punches. Hoo, hoo, hoo. From afar. I had myself a really good workout. And I say that because it was also concise workout. Like sometimes when I'm super depressed, I'll be in the gym for a long time because I don't want like exercising is good. There's a lot of health benefits. I think I have a tendency to go to the gym and use it as an excuse. The gym can also be an excuse sometimes. Like going to the gym can be used as an excuse. Like, you could be at the gym and there for hours because you're using it as an excuse to avoid other parts of your life. Which you probably need to do until you can get it sorted out in your head. I got my tea. Shout outs to Code Tea. 3 tea bags because I'm an addict. And the mug says my success is inevitable. I am always on the right path. Cold tea is so good in the summer. Summertime in the Vivi's easy. Rossi on the microphone with Ross and G. All people on the dance floor agree that we're well qualified to represent the LBC. Imani. Allow me to continue what I was saying. Okay, so I have this appointment at 12, right? With admissions and records. I have it at 12. And you know what? I had set that. I really got to try to stay on track because my brain does some wild things. So, okay. Really, this story starts yesterday. Well, really, this story starts like for the past 2 weeks, DoorDash has been shit. Like, it's been shit forever. It's been really shit. Where I'm not even making $100 now. Like, I'll be on the clock for DoorDash for hours and make $20. That is outrageous. And so I'm texting Zora, getting my mind right. And now we can come to yesterday, right? And by the way, when we're texting, it's just talking about the situation, how things suck. And then she's texting me back like, hey, this and that. Which leads to yesterday. So yesterday I finally said, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to go to the national park. I haven't been to one in a while. And I'm going to go to the one that I always go to. Or at least I used to always go to. As of late. Because let's be real, as a kid I was not going to national parks every day. I really wasn't. But like maybe 3 years ago, I was going to this park almost every day. It was kind of crazy how often I was going. Good for me. Good for me, getting my head right. Because it's a beautiful thing. So I hadn't been in a while. I was like, you know what? It's time I visit. It's time I get my head right. I need to go to these beautiful parks. I need to see. First of all, I need to see them all. Okay, and then this one in particular has a really good look over Culver City, and you can see the Hollywood sign, and it's just a really beautiful park. And I'm like, you know what? I need to go. I need to get my head right. I need to breathe in that air, that kind of air you can get at elevation. You know, I need to get that. So I did. I went. Shout outs to my girl Antonia Kirby because I was listening to your music all day that day. Yeah, I was just bumping your music, man, and it fit so perfectly. It was thank you for being the background music to my life. I hope to meet you one day. I had brought so many supplies because I was gonna draw. You know what I mean? Mm, good, good props to me. Good props to me. I was gonna go draw, man. I was gonna go just sit down overlooking the city and just let whatever came, right? In terms of my drawing and my art. Um, I ended up sitting down in this like garden area, and there was just enough shade for me to feel comfortable. Cause the sun, man, we're starting to get a heat wave out here. Um, I sit down. Antonia Kirby's music is bumping, and but I say bumping. Really, it was like a nice volume, to where I can hear her beautiful voice, and I can hear the beautiful instruments, and just let myself just get just in the moment, right? Just vibing, just totally living my life. So I'm sitting down, I'm drawing, and I'm thinking, and I'm just letting myself feel. Uh, there's people passing by, and so I noticed that I tend to lose myself in other people, in a bad way. Well, I mean, it's a good thing to do. Like, it's a good quality to have. Um, I'm learning how to control it. Um, and yesterday was a perfect example. So people are passing, and I'm able to appreciate them while keeping control and focus and appreciation for my own life story. Um, and then these two old guys come and sit down right next to me, and my first instinct is to recoil. My first instinct is to lower the volume. My first instinct is to like be polite. Like uh polite's not the right word. My first instinct is to like abandon the whole vibe that I had cultivated for myself in that moment in that moment to then make them the centerpiece of the story. Of my story. And I didn't do that this time. Ooh, sorry, I just had a moment. Just thinking about my trauma and how I've had to do that for my parents. And now I'm growing and now I'm doing it for myself. Welcome to a therapy session with Ismail, where I make myself fucking cry. God damn it. Ooh, that tea hits, man. That tea hits. Oh my god, there's so much to tell. There's so much. I've so much has been happening. Oh my god. Gotta keep focused. Okay, let's keep on going. Let's keep on. Chicka 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 chicka. Um. They sit there for a while. It was a good moment that they were sitting there, and my volume was at the same. I was drawing. I was very much into me. I'm like, okay, you guys can sit there. I'm gonna be here. I, I can't control them. They chose to sit there, right? And of course, I'm going through my head because I'm like, I don't want to be rude, this and that, this and that. Um, but then I started to allow myself to, like, I asked myself a question. I'm like, what if they are cool with what's going on? Like, what if they are actually vibing right now? Uh, and that just made me so happy. It made me happy, and it settled me. It centered me a little bit to think, oh, you know what? Maybe they actually think this is really, really cool. And then I started to want them to like ask me questions. They didn't though. They were just old guys. It's whatever. A part of me did want them to be like, hey, what are you drawing? Like I did, like I'm a people person. I want to engage with people. It's just how I do it is what's changing. It's on my terms now. I'm yeah, I'm important and I'm a really cool dude. And I know I have my walls up. You know, I know I do. I know, and it makes it tough. I understand. I understand. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Because I am dope, and like I feel like people should get to want to know me, and I do have my walls up, and I also appreciate as I'm in the process of learning when to open and close them. I do appreciate when people put in the effort to get through. Um, Trauma, trauma, you know, because like okay, I just did a whole like analysis of my own head right now. I'm like, well, why do you want people to put in the effort? And then I connected the dots. I'm like, well, your parents were someone who would have you sacrifice your own life story to focus on theirs because they want to be the centerpiece of the story. And so that left you feeling like you need others to put in the work for you because it validates your ego or self-esteem. Um, and so as I'm working to get a healthier and healthier relationship with my life, then people will have to work less and less hard to be able to bridge that gap or that wall, climb over that wall. No walls, Trump. Fuck walls, dude. Come on. Fuck that shit. We're not about walls. We're about building bridges. Um, so eventually those two old men, they got up and they left. And I was still there, and I was like, all right, I've been here again, just like with the gym. I'm like I could stay here longer. I think I don't want to stay here longer. I think I'm good. Um, I've done what I had to do. I've come here. I've spent a good amount of time here. I don't have to spend any more time here. I can go. I'm good. You know.
Yeah.
And the whole time I'm asking myself, am I good though? Am I good though? Am I good though? You know, it's just that's another thing about me too. Like it's hard for me to like trust myself. Uh, yeah. Uh, Thank you, trauma. Thank you, parents, for de-stilling my confidence. De-instilling. The opposite of installing or instilling in me confidence. You de-instill. On a desperate attempt to continue having yourselves be the center of attention because no one else gives you that attention. Trauma begets trauma, man. It sucks. It's balls. It's a part of life. And that's a healthy way of looking at it. I want to move on. It's just that these, I don't know, for me these feel like important details of my life story that I need to mention. But there's just so much, and I really want to get to it because okay. So I'm walking back to my car, and and by the way, I had brought my laptop bag. My laptop bag is what I use to carry my art supplies and books and stuff. Um, Usually when I take my laptop out, right? And also usually I forget that my laptop's in there. So my dumbass had no use for the laptop. I just decided to bring it with me because I totally forgot it was in there. So I'm carrying all my art supplies, I had brought a book too. Um, uh, just in case I wanted to read. Um, I got taken away with my art though. I got really focused on it, so that ended up being the only thing I did. The only thing I did. Um, and I had lugged that big ass fucking laptop on my back, going up this goddamn big ass fucking mountain. Like on the way back down, it was so much easier. Um, Again, shout out San Antonio Kirby because I was bumping your music the entire time. Um, I make my way back to my car. This like ripped fucking 6 foot one black dude who's must have been 40 maybe. Um, Beard cut beautifully, sharply, I should say, sharply. Um, his hair bald, wearing these expensive looking glasses, and he's just carrying these two fucking bricks. Like, I mean, they weren't bricks. They were like they're just like, like weights that you lift that you would see at the gym, but just these big, fucking massive things. And like he's like he's coming right at me, and I'm like, I'm doing this thing now where I'm breathing in for an extended period of time, consciously breathing in while I'm like making eye contact with people, you know, um, just to, I don't know. I feel like it's a good practice of like confidence and stuff. Anyways, so that's kind of what I did with him too. It was just hard though, because like it's just this like 6'1" black dude, ripped, expensive glasses, looking like a whole story, and just carrying these big ass weights, because he parked right there, right next to me, and I'm like putting my, I'm like, as I'm losing more and more weight, like I'm starting to feel thinner and thinner. So like I'm starting to like feel like like I'm in a different body now, like the body I've always had, and like the body that I have, I think is very typical of like a skater punk type of body, where it's like you can fit in some skinny jeans, right? You got like thin wrists, um, and it's a vibe. Like it's definitely a look. I feel like that's my natural body type, um, when I'm not eating my traumas. Um, So that's kind of how I've been feeling lately with my body, and here comes this fucking big 6'1" black dude, fucking, and uh, and I'm making eye contact with him even though he has shades on, right? And and then he's smiling, and he goes, "These are fucking heavy." He didn't curse. He was more PC. Um, and I'm looking at him. I'm like, yeah, yeah, those are. I'm just like nodding, and and he goes, it hurts carrying those things up this hill. And I'm like, then why do you do it? And then oh man, and then he gets into his main character arc. He becomes the main character because he puts his arms to the side. He looks off into the distance. And by the way, the backdrop to this man is just the entire city of Culver, like the entire Culver City, West End. Just casually his backdrop, and he goes, I don't know, maybe I'm just stupid. Oh my god. And then a moment passes, right, where we're just both like, I laugh, like I started laughing. I tend to notice that I just laugh when I'm nervous, um, and like depending on the person, they sometimes take that the wrong way. Um, and so like he had a moment where he like looked at me, and then he looked back down at his weights, and he goes, "Feels good now though. Putting them down feels good." And and I'm just standing there looking at him, breathing in consciously, and finally I decide that this moment has reached its crescendo, and I give him a big thumbs up and a big smile. And then he goes, "All right, man. I'll see you. I'll see you later." Like if we were friends, you know? Like if we had made plans to hang out later, you know? He was like, "I'll see you later." It's like, and I get in my little broken down Prius, and I get out of there. And that's a lot, right? Didn't feel like a lot though, because I come back home, and like I'm just like feeling like shit, feeling so unproductive, and and that's when I bring out my laptop, I open it up. Click, click, click. I go to Santa Monica College. And I speak to someone from admissions after, waiting about 30 minutes because I had signed up. Good for me. Good props, because I don't think I can oversell just how exhausting it can be to build for yourself. I mean, you hear other people and they've laid down the groundwork. It's one thing to have the door open, it's another to walk through it. And it's oftentimes the hardest thing is walking through that door because of psychological bullshit. I've tried 3 separate times to get this ball called Santa Monica College and a certificate so I can fucking work and make some actual money and live my independent life. 3 separate times I've tried to get this ball rolling. Finally, it's my turn to talk with someone from admissions. Shout outs to Vanessa Leon. Love you, mommy. You were kind, patient, and warm. We talk on the phone for 20 minutes, and I'm asking her questions. I'm not satisfied. I need to ask questions. The way I have asked questions has changed because I used to ask questions to get an answer. Um, I ask questions now. Well, I guess I can't really sum it up so eloquently. It's just like I was asking questions. I mean, I wasn't even asking questions. I was just, I don't know, just like, okay, I'll give you an example because this is really hard to explain. It's like, as opposed to asking questions to where I can get an answer, I was, bear with me, folks. As opposed to being like, oh, okay, well, when's the deadline for this? Ba 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 ba. Okay, well, how do you? What's the process like for this? Ba 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 ba. That's what I used to do. This time around with Vanessa, I was like, you know, I've tried 4 separate times to do this, and it's really hard. And to my surprisement, combine surprise and amazement, you get surprisement. To my surprise, my pleasant surprise, she would roll with that. Those simple, I mean, to me, simple, uh, just like little tidbits about how I'm feeling. Like feeling, you know what I mean? Like, just like using my words to convey how I feel. She would roll with that, and she'd be like, "Oh, well, let me bam, bam, bam," and then she would riff for like 2 or 3 minutes about it. It would just like spark her to better help me. And by the end of this 20-minute conversation, I felt satisfied. Um, and so I know I'm kind of like I had a thought. It's like I'll give you just a quick little tangent here. We'll continue with the story because there's more, obviously so much more. And I'm at 39 minutes, 40 minutes, 40 minutes exactly. Um, uh, uh, During that conversation, I was also like talking to myself, which I do often. And one of the things I was telling myself, like the theme of for myself, uh, was don't worry about being liked. Speak and conduct yourself um, without the fear of being not liked. Because I think because that's kind of how I operate normally. I want people to like me, and I want to say things that will elicit a positive response. Um, Trauma. And guess what? When you're doing that, um, because you need that positive reinforcement, it makes certain things harder. Like for example, going to Santa Monica College and getting a certificate, because the real questions you need to ask that are going to help you in this process, you won't ask them because you're afraid of conflict, or you're afraid of the other person being frustrated when you want them to like you. And so this time around, I did a much better job of asking questions that, and guess what? She wasn't frustrated at all, you know? I mean, at first, she got frustrated maybe like once or twice. And I was just like, fuck it, who cares? That's not my problem. You know what I mean? And and that's new. That's growth, you know? Because I say this again, by the end of those 20 minutes, it gave me, I felt proud of myself. And it just thought it was just good positive momentum. Um, as I get this ball rolling. Um, and then I had also signed up for today at 12. Uh, and now we're back to, now we're all caught up, right? Now we're all so fucking caught. Now we're caught up to what I was talking about earlier, which is I get up, hear the birds chirp, buy myself a nice coffee and some hash browns, make my way over to the gym, get a good workout in, be confident, come back home, and I have an appointment at 12. So actually, I didn't come back home. From the gym, uh, 20 minutes, 20 minutes, 20 minutes, as opposed to staying there forever. I actually had a schedule to keep, right? Um, so I get my good workout in. I take a shower uh, at the gym, and then I book it, right? Um, and then I make my way over to the gas station first. I know that's kind of it's inconsequential in terms of like the important information in the story. I just it's just part of the story, so why leave it out? I did go to the gas station. Well, actually, it is kind of important because that I'm struggling with DoorDash to make money at the moment, so my bank account is kind of low. Uh, so yeah, it does matter, that I paid gas. Um, I went and luckily I know where I can get gas for $3.89. And finally they fixed their air because one of my tires deflates quickly. Um, I also have a cracked screen. um, Cracked windshield. Oh, and the battery's low on my key too. So yeah, we're riding this thing till it falls off, right? So the wheels fall off. Or you can just replace the wheels, right? But that requires money. Everything requires money, which is why I need to duck and do this thing with Santa Monica College. It doesn't really matter if I didn't trust myself or not. It's just about making a little living with some money. And I can still pursue my dreams. That's the beautiful part. get gas, I put air in my car, and I book it. Make my way over to the local library, the library that's closest to where I live here, which is the Watts Alma Reeves Library. Shout outs to black people. So I sit down. I forget my headphones, and this library is kind of a stickler for the rules. So if you're listening to something out loud, they're gonna tell you that you need to, like, get yourself some headphones. And so I didn't want to go through that bullshit, as much as I love starting trouble. So I tell the guy, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna get up real quick. I'm gonna go get my headphones. I kind of parked a good walk away, not a terrible walk, just a nice little maybe 1,000 feet, maybe, just like 1,000 feet, a kilometer feet, a kilo feet, a kilo foot. So I go, get my headphones. I come back down and I sit, and I'm like ready. I'm ready for this goddamn appointment. And wouldn't you know it, I started to have issues. Fucking issues, dude. Like, I sit down, I'm all ready, proud of myself, nervous as fuck, and I run into my first barrier to entry, which was that I tried showing up, I tried logging in, and it was 11:50. The meeting's at 12, right? So I'm like, all right, whatever. I wait 3 minutes, and I'm like, all right, well, it's like 11:55 now. It's like 11:55 now. At the time, right? And I was like, all right, well, this should be good enough. I don't want to be too early, but I'm also punctual, right? Shout outs to the candles. And it says I need a meeting ID, and I'm like, I ain't got no fucking meeting ID. I'm checking the emails, the confirmation emails. There's no meeting ID. And for whatever reason, it said the session expired. What the hell? My mind is racing. My mind is racing as I savagely click on buttons to try to figure this stuff out. I even quickly sent an email to like admissions info or something like that, because they said if you have any questions, contact. I'm like, meeting ID for the blah 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 blah. And then I pull up I go to Santa Monica because I'm like, maybe there is a meeting ID. So I'm like at their webpage where I found the event in the first place, and I'm like, I'm looking for this meeting ID. It's not here. Well, things got pretty dramatic for me internally, and really what it was is just that they started exactly at 12, and once 12 hit, it was there, right? Lo and behold, there's a second goddamn barrier to entry. My audio isn't working. Oh my god. My audio isn't working. And luckily I had brought 2 different headphones, because I had Bluetooth headphones, which I do not trust, and then I had the headphones the librarian had given me when he first told me that I needed some headphones. So I plugged those in, and it took a minute. It took a cool minute. Finally, the computer has audio now, so I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna use these uncomfortable ass headphones. They are super uncomfortable. They're like for elephants. They're headphones made for someone who has the ears of an elephant, because these things are this huge. As I was looking for the meeting ID, I also happened to stumble upon the slideshow presentation that he was going to use. I don't know how. I just typed like a general search, I guess keywords, and it was a PDF. And so I fucking opened that shit. I'm like, oh cool, I have my own separate copy of the presentation today. So that's dope. You know what I mean? Like, hey, the early bird gets the worm. The hustling fish makes it over the stream. You know what I'm saying? So that's actually a good analogy I just made up on the spot. TM. All right, TM. Also, the hustling fish that jumps and makes it over the stream also kind of gets eaten by their bear, but we'll We combine the two. Or combine the two. You got to be early. You got to be there before the Bears there, and then you also got to hustle. You know. Oh my God. Sorry, I just went into my mind and had a small conversation with myself. I do that, you know. Trauma. I say trauma so much. It's just you know, we do develop some cool skills though from trauma. You know, we do. We do. It's just we have to learn how to manage them. You know, that's it. Um, it's an hour. I am actually kind of tired of talking. I do want to like play some video games and like some cards because I did pick up some cards and that's also part of the story that I was gonna mention. So we'll keep it in an hour because I am a little tired. Um, Positive affirmations. I just gave myself some right there. Um, Now I'm just thinking of what to say and how to end this because I wanted to end it with like peace, love, and unity. Uh, we are beautiful people, and we need to connect with ourselves and with each other. And we need to grow and we need to pursue our best lives. And yes, it is frustrating.